Okay, hi everyone. This is the first video in my new tutorial series that I'll be working on, and it's going to be cooking, crafts, all sorts of different things. This first one we're going to do something really simple, which is a potato pancake. Now, I was looking around online about keeping the skins on. I've been keeping the skins on for a while, and I was trying to find out why that's important, and I was looking around, and as it turns out, it's still open for debate, but I just leave the skins on. But what I do, of course, wash your hands, and then I wash the potato really good. I scrub it really good and dry it. But I leave the skin leave the skin on. There's a little bad spot, so I'm going to just go ahead and cut that little bad spot off and just take a look around. There's another little bad spot, it seems. Okay, so that's good enough. Here we go. Now we're going to shred the potato. I'm going to use one of these old-fashioned graters. My dad used to call these knuckle busters. And so this is kind of awkward to do it from this angle. But I'm just going to go ahead and start shredding. Oops. This is the hardest part of this whole process. And this is like, one, I guess, medium to large potato, but you'd be surprised how far this will go. And I'm going to have to turn it around the other way because this just isn't working for me. I should have turned the camera the other way, but all right, we'll try it back this way. Anyhow, let's see. Let's keep going. And I've got this bowl underneath to obviously catch the peeled potatoes. And knuckle busters, true to their name, you want to be careful that you don't shred your fingers or shred your knuckles. So you just keep doing this all the way down and keep turning it, try a different spot. And also on the side here, what I'm doing is I've got a pan of oil with some oil in it, and I'm using canola oil. Another thing that I just happened to switch to, several years back because of health. I heard it was healthier. And I did look that up, and it is because the canola oil contains less saturated fat than traditional vegetable oil. I suppose you could use olive oil, and I have been substituting olive oil in a lot of recipes lately, but for some reason with the potato pancakes it just doesn't, it kind of gives it a little funny taste, and I just prefer more of a traditional deep fried sort of vibe. But anyways, over here on the side, you can't see it this minute, but at the same time that I'm shredding these potatoes, I've already got my saute pan was approximately 1/4 inch oil on the bottom of the pan, and I've got it on a low heat and I'm warming up the oil. So then by the time we get all this prepared and ready to cook, the oil will be hot and we can go quickly. You don't want to let these potatoes set around because what happens is they start turning that color, that brownish and then red color. So if you don't shred every little piece, no big deal. I've got a little piece setting aside here. I mean, you don't have to do every single little piece, but do it down as far as you can, but watch your fingers, and we don't want to have any bloody knuckles come from that. So then just turn this the opposite way that you were shredding, and then you can just pull all the excess down. And what I want to do before I go to the next step, I'm going to grab a paper towel. Here it is. And I'm going to kind of dry this potatoes off too. You want to get a lot of that moisture out of there. So I'm just like pushing the paper towel. See how it's getting really wet and it's kind of drying off. So, oops, there goes a piece of potato. Potatoes everywhere. We got potatoes everywhere. So, okay, I'm going to flip it around, give it a little dry off, and that's pretty good. So now I got my shredded potatoes here. Actually kind of still wet. So I'm going to take my towel and just do my clean towel and get a lot of that moisture out of there as much as you possibly can. Okay, so I got my shredded potatoes. I'm going to set these aside for a second. Now the onions, you could shred the onions on the knuckle buster too, but I just prefer to kind of give them a really, really fine slice. I'm going to cut that chunk off and then just take your knife and just go really, really, just like that, really close. And this is about one, medium large potato, and I've got about a half of a medium onion here. And I'm just going to go around and keep cutting away, like kind of shaving at it almost. And a few little thick ones in there won't kill you. I'm going to do this whole entire half onion, and just kind of break them apart. So you want them sort of like flaky onions, just about through here. Usually I actually like to use like not a serrated knife, a flat knife, and just kind of go at it, but I don't have one handy, so we're going to have to deal with this. Okay, so I'm just about at the end here. Again, you don't cut your fingers. If you have to throw a little chunk out, it's not the end of the world. Some of these larger chunks. Then I kind of go through them and just kind of loosen them and get them. If there's any bigger ones, you can either chop them down further or just forget about it. Forget about it. Okay, so then these are already starting to change color, which we don't want. Okay, so we get the onions in there, and then we kind of, get these mixed in together. I actually have a fork here. Also, though, we need to do a little bit of coating with flour. I don't know if I'm going to even use all of this. You just kind of give it a little sprinkle, see, like that. And it's going to give you some, it's going to absorb any of the little bit of that liquid that may be left over. So I'm going to put the flour around in there, mix it in really good. Oops. They're flying out all over the place. And then I think it needs a little more. I really don't even know. You just kind of look at it. You don't want it too dry, because that's not good either. The final ingredient, I've tried to make these vegan, and I am going to be doing some other vegan dishes that I have worked out. But for this, you really just can't get past using an egg. There's other egg substitutes, and I've tried a couple ways, but you're going to have to use at least one egg. So, and you got your flour coated onion and potato, and then you just crack your egg in. Voila. All right, now we mix that egg in and get a nice, kind of thick consistency, like almost a gooey kind of, it's like a gooey, egg coated, and I think we don't really even need any more of that flour. So I'm not even sure what we used. I'm going to say I used maybe about 1/8 of a cup of flour. 1/8 cup flour to 1 potato and 1/2 onion. And for 1 potato, this is really you're going to get about 3 or 4 potato pancakes out. And I'm going to just add a little ground sea salt. You can add pepper. I personally am not a big pepper fan, so I don't put pepper in. This is it. This is your ready to make batter of your potato pancakes. It should look something like this. So you've got shredded potato. You've got a little bit of flour, maybe 1/8 cup, not even, maybe even 1/16 of a cup. You just kind of got to get a good coating on it all. And then the shredded onion and the egg. And that's it. This is your basic potato pancake batter. I'm going to reposition the camera and show you how to fry up with the heated oil. Now we're ready to start making the actual potato pancakes and then frying them in the oil. I've been heating my oil for a while. I've got it on like a medium-low heat. I've got my finished batter, and you have to kind of do this fairly quick so these potatoes don't start turning. I've got these 2 cool tools here. This thing I love. I use this for I use this for poached eggs. I use it for these. And this is just, I'm not sure what either one of them are actually called, but slatted. You need something slatted, or with holes in the bottom. I suppose you could even just use like a slatted spoon. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get like this, take my little fork, and I'm going to get and I'm just going to kind of pat it down. Now, I don't like mine perfectly round. I like these little thingies hanging out because I think that just gives it like, those are the best things, those little crunchy things that are hanging out of the side of it. So I'm going to leave some of those, and I'm going to kind of go like that, squeeze it off, and right in the hot oil. That's sizzling. Okay, and do another one. Actually, maybe I'll do it like this. Okay, and I'm going to take my fork and kind of press it down into a patty. Too much hanging off. Okay, another one down in there she goes. So you need that egg to kind of keep that together. You need that egg in there to kind of keep as a binder, I guess it would be the word. So look at there. I've got, I'm going to put this in here. I've got this set over here because I am going to use that to drain the grease afterwards. That's just a paper plate with a paper towel on it. And then it's just, I'm going to put this last one. I'm just going to go right in the grease. There we go. Get every little bit, as much of it out as I can. And then I'll take my little tools and sort of flatten and form it right in there. I guess you could just do it that way too. Okay, so now they're in there, they're frying. I want to give them a little, so they don't get stuck to the bottom of the pan, kind of give them a little, there we go, like that. And I'm going to actually turn, it seemed like the temperature went down, and so I'm going to turn that heat up on there. Now we're just going to fry them on both sides. I like them pretty crispy. I like to really fry them up good. So again, this is from 1 medium potato and 1/2 onion. And that's why a lot of this food, began, is because just out of sheer poverty. A lot of this ethnic food, because it's super cheap. And you've got root vegetables that you would have in your root cellar. You've got potato and onion, and like these, and pierogies, and like cabbage and dumplings or cabbage and noodles. Those are all kind of dishes that really, I think, began out of just survival, out of cheap eats that you could feed a lot of people with. Because again, 1 potato, 1/2 an onion, and you've got 3 nice sized potato pancakes here. So here they are. We're just going to have them. I got to turn this heat up because it's really not frying them fast enough. So I'm cranking that heat up pretty good. I don't want to get too much oil saturated. I want to cook them fairly quickly. Actually, probably the quicker the better. So I'm going to give them, a few minutes on each side, and then once they've been drained and everything, there's different people like a lot of people put applesauce or apple chutney on their baked potatoes, potato pancakes. I don't care for that. I like just a little bit of sour cream, and that's just awesome. That's the perfect. You could use it as a side dish or as just a meal in itself. It's a vegetarian. It's got eggs in it. It's got 1 egg in it. So I guess it's not completely vegetarian. But like my daughters are vegetarian and vegan, but usually they'll still do an egg. But a lot of people I know, eggs are not okay. It's considered not vegetarian. My philosophy is, look, you didn't have to kill the chicken to get the egg out of it, and I do use the farm natural eggs when at all possible, naturally farmed eggs, and that's what we have used in this as well. We were using the naturally farmed eggs. I can't say that I do use them 100% of the time, because there are times when I can't get to specialty places that carry them, and I might have to just get a dozen eggs from wherever, the corner store, that kind of a deal. So it's but I try to do that, and try to do a lot of, because my daughters are vegetarians and vegans now. I've been reworking a lot of these classic recipes, and like I said, this is one that I've tried, and you just cannot get around the egg. You need the egg. I've tried egg substitutes. It really doesn't do anything, and it gives it a weird taste. That powdered stuff, it just does not taste right. One of the things that I'm going to be doing, and within the week, I'm going to be doing my stuffed cabbage. And it took me a long time, but I finally have come up with a great vegan alternative to the stuffed cabbage. When I make that, what I'm going to do is 1 of each. We're going to have the meat and then the vegan one also. But it took some, experimenting. It didn't, and definitely those fake meat things is not the solution, because that has such a strong overbearing flavor. Those faux ground beef. Ugh. The first time I made it for my daughters, they wanted me to try it, and so I made it with that faux ground meat, and it was terrible. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and flip these. See how that's like nice and got a nice golden brown to it? It's looking great already. But anyways, back to that the stuffed cabbage. That faux meat has such a overbearing. It smells like, and it tastes like. I don't know if it tastes like, but it smells just like those fake beef covered dog bones that you give your dog, and that just ruined the whole thing. So then I tried it it took me several attempts to finally come up with a great recipe for the vegan stuffed cabbage, and I've got it, and I will be making it within the next week, and I will be posting it. I'm going to do it for Christmas, and I'm going to do a regular with meat, and then the the vegan alternative. So these are coming along really nicely, and they're just about ready. I'm going to move some of this stuff off of here, out of the way. So just here, this is just like regular, it's already leaking, but it's just a cheapo paper plate with some paper towels on it. No big thing. Again, it's all very inexpensive, very easy to make. Don't be intimidated by it, because it really is not that hard. It's super easy. Those aren't quite done on the bottom. These come back really great too. If I don't eat them all today, which I'm sure I won't, I probably have one. But how I like them, microwave not so hot, but how they do come out really good is in a regular oven or the toaster oven. Just put them in the foil on the toaster oven, and then it gets it re-crisps them. And it's a wonderful, fast and easy. So I usually don't make 3. I usually make a big bowl of them, big batch of them, and then they keep them around, and you can warm them up. They're good I keep them for a good week or so. I can have them every day, and they're still wonderful and very tasty. Still not quite done yet. I like mine on the crispy side. This might be done to somebody. That's up to your own discretion, your own preferences, how you like it. But I like them rather crispy. I don't like them mushed. This is a really good one here. It's got lots of nice, those little things sticking out around the edges. That's the best part. Sometimes you go to a restaurant and they're like perfect circles with none of these little hangout potato tendrils. And I love those potato tendrils, or whatever you call them. See, that's not quite done. It's getting really close, though. We're getting really close to being done. And like this, in any kind of cooking, too, any kind of thing where you're frying, and people, I know I talk about vegan, but I would still eat bacon. With bacon, everything's not necessarily done at the same time. You have to take them out as they're done. This one's done. This is like the best one too. Ooh, look at that! It's got the good thingies sticking out of it over here too. Oh, I love that. And I like them, like I said, kind of well done, kind of crunchy. So even though this one's done, maybe the others aren't quite ready. Yeah, this one is ready too. But that's the same way when you're cooking bacon. You don't have to just take them all out. Some may have to cook a little longer. And some may be done quickly. All right, looks like they're all done. So there goes my theory. There goes my theory of how they're not all done at the same time. Ooh, this one's got some good thingies coming out of it too. Those little crunchy things are so awesome. All right, so these have to just drain and grease. And actually, we probably should put another paper towel over the top here. And you really want to get a lot of that grease off. And before I refrigerate them, of course, or anything to eat later, they won't be on this greasy pan. I'm going to put them on another pan. So that's it. I'm going to take a still shot of the finished product with on a nice plate with a little sour cream on it. But these are it. These are rockin' potato pancakes. Delicious, cheap, and excellent meal. Okay, until next time.